Holla if you hear me. Here we are, boys and girls. I was supposed to have Nani as my guest, but as you can see, he is not here. That's okay. That is okay. Um, Before I get going here, I want to shout out to my subscribers and fans. Thank you for every small gesture, etc., that you do following me and this, that, and the third. I want to shout out to my subscribe sponsors. Sorry, uh, uncensored arm wrestling uncensored. David Kotlick, Unrivaled Productions, and VSA. It's truly a lot of weight being laid into my lap, but like I've said to a few other people, honestly, I'm not ready. I don't think I should be sponsored. But it fell in my lap. I'm going to run with it. We're going to see what happens. First thing that I want to tackle, ladies first, Elizabeth Mosak. And David Kotlow, if you're watching this, I want you to clip this and send this to her if you don't mind. If not, whatever. But I'm going to make it known that at the beginning, with Elizabeth Mosak, I was a part of a group chat, right? The Uncensored Arm Wrestling Circus Shit Show group chat. And just out of the blue, because of what I knew at this point, I knew that Elizabeth had used to be on the heavier side and this, that, and the third. Maybe had some self love issues. Who knows? I don't know. But she had gotten into bodybuilding and weightlifting, lost weight and stuff, right? Paul Italia even told me in a personal conversation that she had had some kind of head injury or something to that effect. I'm real fuzzy on it, but basically a head injury of some sort. But, anyways, um, I basically kind of imagined her from what little bit I knew of her from just browsing, not following her at all, but just browsing on her Facebook page and this, that, and the third, that she was an inspirational story, not necessarily just for women, but for people, who have weight issues and stuff like that. And I was also at the same time very curious to really know her real story and everything. So I had enough balls, and this wasn't me like, oh, could you please da 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 on my show? Fuck that shit. No, I just straight up asked her. Goddamn, I remember to this day that Captain Pretentious sent an emoji that went, he was surprised. But I asked her kindly and respectfully if she could come on my show. She said send her a DM. So I did that, right? I let her know that, I was connected technically with Paul Italia, this, that, and the third. Well, come to find out, boy, she went back to obviously go check to see if I was lying. I don't know what their conversation was, but I do know that Paul Italia wound up calling me fucking later, and he was kind of facetiously cussing me out. Not really, nothing serious. He was like, motherfucker, you using my name, and da da da. I'm like, bruh, I have your numbers. We talk somewhat, more than other people in my life. I mean, I've never said to her that me and him were bros or like that. Never. I just said I was connected with him, and honestly, I I just said that just to show her that I know people, I'm connected. Um, but the problem came with this is she never responded back. She never even gave me a fuck you, go screw yourself or whatever. Uh, Me and Paul were talking, and Paul was advising me to jump through all these hoops. Like I had to get, and this is why I contacted David Kotlow, if he remembers correctly, that you need a co-host. That it's not just you and her. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, we're grown-up adults. What's wrong with her coming on and being my co-host? Yeah, I'm some just Joe Schmo, but I ain't no fucking simp, and I ain't thirsty, for her attention or whatever y'all may imagine or whatever. But he was advising me to get a co-host, to get the Zoom thing going, which costs money. Okay, I don't have a laptop. I do this shit through my phone. You know, I don't need nothing elaborate either. Just a side note. This is good enough for me, just to reach you people and everything. All right. So I listened to him a little bit. I heard what he said. I looked into a few things with the Zoom program and everything. And as far as I'm concerned, uh, trying to do this through my fucking phone and everything, I said, screw it. This bitch doesn't obviously want to be on my show, so I'm not going to waste my time, and sure as hell ain't going to waste my money. I mean, what is this? Am I hiring a 304 to be on my show so I can get views? Fuck no. So what did I do? I let it go. Now, ever since then, for whatever reason, probably obviously instigated by fucking Kotlo, uh, there's been a little bit of this fucking back and forth. I mean, Kotlo's even like sending me out of the blue fucking pictures of him or her and Nanya at the 98 event. I'm like, bro, what are you trying to do here? I don't care. You know, I don't care about Elizabeth Mosak. She doesn't, I mean, I don't know. I know she's a hater. I do know that. Goddamn, all these pros and what have you are hating on me because David Kotlow gave me a round trip flight and 2 nights at the Marriott Hotel to go to Houston, Texas, November 2nd. Hey, I mean, obviously, what this should say to the haters instead of them hating is that obviously they ain't doing something right to sell themselves, you know, especially to the fucking actual semi-pro or pro athletes who are actually stronger, better, been in the sport longer than me, etc. Right? So I just want to squash that right now with Elizabeth Mosak. Is I don't give a fuck about you, just like you don't care about me. But I guess you do care about my sponsorships and everything because you obviously don't think I deserve it. Well, you know what I got to say to you? 2 words. Fuck you. Next subject. All right. For those of you who follow me and everything, right? Yesterday, I had my first super match with Sir Brandon Baggett. There's a lot to say here, story wise. Long story short, he got me 3-0 on the right, but I got the last laugh. Hey, William Brewer, suck it, bitch. Boy, uh, he's still kind of like chuckling in the corner, figuratively speaking, and enjoying that I got my quote unquote ass whooped on the right. Well, there's another thing coming, and this is where I'm going to get into the story, right? I got up at 9:15 exactly is when I set my alarm clock. Uh, got ready. I had an accomplice who, by the way, if any of y'all are curious, she is not my girlfriend, not even nothing like that. She is a coworker, good person. I asked her if she would tag along with me. That way I had somebody because I can't fucking arm wrestle and record my matches at the same fucking time, obviously. So I needed somebody to come along who didn't mind, want to go for the ride. So Had to go pick her up in Bon Air, Warner Robins, right? Which is like a 35, almost 40-minute drive. Then finally do the, according to the GPS, the fucking 2 hour and 40-minute fucking drive that actually turned out to be over 3 fucking hours, thanks to Atlanta's wonderful traffic around noon on a fucking Saturday. Oh man, that shit was so fucking aggravating. Cause like, I ain't gonna lie, I was ready to go. Probably what didn't help that situation is the fact that I was so ready to go because I had, unlike Paul Italia, I had my fucking coffee. So I was wired and ready to go and anxious. And then also in between the drive, I want to say maybe like 30, 40 minutes out before we got there, I had a monster to chase it with to re energize me. But I was ready to go, man. Really get this shit over with. Synonymous to the feeling that I had at this tournament, my first tournament. Shout out to, yeah, I know they may not be my biggest fans and they may get a few laughs at my expense, but shout out to the Florida guys, Brandon Morris, Wiz. You know I love you, brother. Uh, and all them Florida guys, Chance Shaw, Sarah Backman. Uh, so the unfortunate thing was for my opponent, he wound up having to wait like over an hour for me to finally get there, right? And I was in complete contact with him beforehand too. I was very respectful. You know, I'm not an asshole. You know, I was like telling him I may show up late, like I believe that even the previous night before. Um, when I got there, I had to use the bathroom. It was a very small bar, very small. And they didn't even fucking have whiskey and liquor, by the way, which I thought was some bullshit. Well, I guess, small town bar, in the fucking valley or countryside, It is what it is, though. Uh, so I got in there. There was a lot of people after I used the bathroom. I'm not going to lie, I was a little apprehensive because, yes, I've been to the bar a few times before, but I'm not really too much of, I can be social and stuff, but I was, going in there. And as soon as I could, I grabbed somebody to the side so I could warm up on the right and the left. Gary Robinson, I'll get to that. I'm just going to hold off on that. But it was rushed, basically, because I know how long, or guessed or assumed how long roundabout he had been waiting for me. So, the thing had supposedly started at noon. I didn't get there until like after 3 or around 3. Um, so, yeah, eventually we got to it. And I mean, best way to put it is that I was there, but I wasn't really there. I even had my smelling salts that I brought along with me in my fucking pocket, and I did not use them. And the funny thing is I didn't realize this until I was on my way out, leaving from the place like a few hours later, because I did do some after pool. I mean, it was basically like a practice day with a super match and stuff like that. My first one. Um, Yeah, in the first round, I fouled out. Cody Wood was the head ref, and Kyle Spots was the bottom ref. They asked us before. I made sure I asked what the rules were for clarity beforehand, generally, and then Cody asked us if we wanted tight or loose elbow rules. I said loose. My opponent agreed. And round one, like I said, fouled out, got 2 fouls. I lost the first round on fouls. Second round, tried to slip this way. It was a little sticky, and they gave him the pin. but the way it looks, like I looked so slow and like I looked like a fucking novice. It was so bad. Round three, it went to the strap, and um, like a dumbass. And I will say this: my game plan, because I only see one person watching. I know that's you, David Shell. Uh, my game plan before all this was to take him on the inside. I did not do that. I just that was where I got there, got caught up in the swing of things or whatever you want to call it, and I totally lost focus. Um, I fucking had my hand dipped. He had me basically out here past 12 o'clock. I'm in the low hand position. He's got the height. He's looking at me. I believe he was shaking his head. Then I'm like, I'm like this. And then I'm trying to, do this. And then he just yoink right after I make that subtle, or not subtle, but I make that transition to try and get behind my hand. Yeah, he shuts it down after saying, not today. And, good for him. Congratulations. I looked like shit on the right. But am I really shit on the right? That is what some of those guys who don't know me would probably say automatically, yes, you're like trash on the right, but you're like super strong on the left. I just, and when he did that too, it hurt that. It jinked it a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. And this thing, yeah, I mean, it's minor. It's nothing serious. It feels like some swelling is in there because it feels like it needs to pop. And I've, tried a few times doing this or whatever. Even like doing some of this or whatever, it feels like some kind of swelling in there subtly. So, but I think it's okay because ultimately, sometime after that match, after the left hand, which by the way, the left hand, I fucking crushed him. Two of the matches, I beat him in a hook. Uh, Mr. and Mrs. Okay, I guess we're going to go with this. Mr. and Mrs. You're late, son. What the hell? I guess you were
I'm out
watching
here. I'm out here
WrestleMania.
doing yard work, Harlan. You like my deck? Like my deck? Yeah. I out here doing yard work out here. Got the two JBL.
Hold on a sec. For some reason, hold on a sec. Let me hit my button. Just give me a sec.
Yep.
All right, say something. Okay,
Yo.
yeah, there you are. All right, we're good now. All right, what were you saying again?
Oh, now I was busy doing yard work. I was leaf blowing, burning shit, cleaning off my deck, clean my deck.
I see that.
I got
Okay, so
pretty big deck, Harlan. I got pretty big deck over here.
yeah, I feel like that's a figure of speech you're using there. I don't really care about tech.
This is the Mrs. Harlan. She's a big fan.
Hello.
Cheers.
Hello.
Hello.
Cheers. Cheers.
I'm
Yeah.
on our YouTube, Mr. and Mrs. YouTube.
Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah,
YouTube.
because yeah.
I like it.
So Harlan, you
All right.
you arm wrestled over the weekend. How'd it go?
I was in the middle of just rounding that story up. Actually, you
All
missed
right, we'll
like the
continue.
first half or so. But
I'll be right back, baby.
basically,
You got later?
as I was telling the people, I lost in a very nasty fashion. Basically, long story short, to catch you up on the right,
Mm-hmm.
right. Shout out to Scotty Holloman, to Justin Bishop's group, because it wasn't but that last practice before this
that I was inspired by him. We were banging it out in that practice, right and left in the hook. Scotty Holloman's a hooker, right? And obvious, me and Scotty, Scotty told me he had a torn pec in his left or whatever. So it wasn't significant or whatever. But it was because of that that led me to the loose idea to be like, hey, Brandon, you want to pull left hand too? And he agreed to it. And I'm glad he did because I was able to get the last laugh basically because he squashed me on the right. Now, to a lot of people who do not follow me or know me, on the right arm, they will say, dude, you basically suck ass on the right, But if you look at how I performed, and I mean, ever since I left there, I've been like, fuck, man, I'm like so shitty on how I lost.
All right, Harlan, I got one question that I ask you just to gauge your logisticalness. So, do you think after because I know you thought you made it on a record. I stood no chance against Paul. If I went to press him, I was going to break my arm. After seeing my performance against Paul, like, do you think you stand a chance against me right hand?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I really don't. I mean, you surprised me. But I say my opinion was erroneous, and it's erroneous because I knew nothing about you. I knew Paul Italia before any of all this bullshit started happening, even with the 98, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then when I started talking with him after we had the Florida tournament in September, right? Last year, then I started getting to know you and stuff.
Yeah.
But obviously, I totally underestimated you. So I would have to say no. I don't think the only chance I would have, as opposed to over Paul Italia, is that I would definitely be trying to hook you.
Yeah.
I would not just to shut down you being able to flop and everything. I would do you just like Hermes did Jerry Ketteret.
You know what I would suggest you do? Talk to Cam and ask him about hooking me and ask him how you think that'll go. I was practicing.
Hey, I did see that. Yeah, how'd that go?
It went well. Dave Seaton came by, and a year ago at Winter Blast, Dave Seaton's hand completely would dominate mine. Like I could do shit. That's why I could only beat him flopping. So,
Yeah.
he had practiced the day before, but like let's just say things went a lot different. And I said, Seaton, my hand got a lot better, and he just smiled and nodded. So, bro, I'm telling you, I cup now. I go like this, and then I go like that. I go like this, and then I go like that.
Yeah, you do that to go right through the fingers, the bottom fingers. It's very good.
Yep.
But I just want to say, now that we're talking about that and everything, that when this happened, right, on the live stream, because I was at work, doing my thing, and I was able to catch the last part, the significant part of it. When it happened, obviously, number one, I was shocked. I was frustrated and angry. I was sad, but not where I was like crying or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was inspired. I was inspired by you. And the reason why I say this, right? Hear me out. You and I are like on that working class level, I don't know what your personal life is, but when you started getting emotional about your son and everything, and knowing that you come from the working class and stuff, and then understand the significance of this event and you winning it, and dude, you almost won. David Kotlow cut a joke and said, Nanya won as much money as you make in a year. I was like, dude, I make over $15,000. But you won a lot of money, and then you got the Vitacell thing. But
Yep.
I'm not shitting you when I say this. I was surprised and I was inspired by you because of what that moment meant to you, and I could in an offhandish way, I could understand where you were coming from because I could imagine being in that spot as well. Somebody from nowhere, right? And you're self-made. You came from the bottom. Now look at you. People are really going to start listening and hearing you now.
Yes.
Okay. because of what you've achieved. So, it is what it is. But I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I mean, that's no bullshit aside. But obviously, like I stated earlier, total misunderestimation.
Harlan, they can say a lot of things about you. Can't say that you're not fucking blunt and you're a very transparent, blunt, and honest guy. I got to know that.
I appreciate that. I think in some ways we're kind of like you're obviously above me and stuff, but we're basically somewhat in like the same boat. We're both two bad guys. Nobody ain't got nothing positive to say about us. Fucking haters.
I'll correct you there. So I play a bad guy on TV, but anybody that beats me, well, they'll just let you know, like who I am. I'm the type of guy. I take my shirt off my back. Put it this way: if we were out in the general public, say we went out after an arm wrestling event and went out to the bar and had some drinks, somebody could come and accost me, and I will try to get out of the situation whatever way possible. I'll try to diffuse it. I'll be like, I'm not trying to fight. I'm not trying to prove anything. I'm not trying to get locked up. Uh, but like if I'm with people, I'm the type of person that's more apt to like to come to somebody's come and get somebody's back because like I know I can handle myself and I know I can like diffuse situations. So like, and that's not just in a physicality type of way. That's in a I get jobs for people. Like if things work out, whatever I can do. If I look at somebody where I like them or they're doing something good for me, I go out of my way to do the very best and supply whatever kind of connections, resources, or things I have available to help that person out. That is the kind of guy I am. And that's if I don't have to like you. There's two different things. I I can like people that I don't really respect, right?
I can testify to that. Shit,
Yeah.
you shot the fuck out of me. You
And
called James
respect.
Cochran, and now I got another sponsor.
See, and then there's respect, right? So then like there's other things where like I'll just test the situation, I'll just do whatever, and ultimately, like I don't believe in holding grudges, and it's kind of like it's kind of like if you're in a relationship with a chick, all right? You kind of want to go through the motions and get in arguments and kind of see, like, you don't really know someone until you've been in situations that are high stress or, like, things on the line to really know somebody's character. So, if anything, I see somebody's character after a while. And even if I don't fucking like them, even if I don't like them, if there's a respect wise along work, along specific things where I'm like, okay, I can not like this person, but I can respect them. I will still give them the same courtesy as somebody I like, because again, I can like people, but I cannot respect them, right? Especially after a while, like you can have somebody that you like and respect, or love, say, right? And then after a
Yeah.
while, you won't like them anymore. You won't respect them. But it's kind of hard to get rid of certain connections when you know what somebody is worth. 'Cause see, that's the thing. You can meet people and they can seem face value all well and good, but shit, you know a motherfucker for some years and you've been through some shit. You could say, I don't really get along with this motherfucker. We're in the same room 5 minutes, but you know what? I know if shit goes down, or I know if like shit gets serious, I already know what this person's about and how they're gonna deliver, and that goes a long way. That goes a long way because it's muscle memory. Like it's dependability. It comes down to like respect turns into dependability, and dependability will trump liking somebody or all that other shit out the window, because we all know in life, like, good times are good times, but when shit gets hard, like you really confide and you really value those that you can depend on. They can depend on you, and that's a real kind of a relationship. Is dependability, is just knowing what somebody's
That's the
about.
reason why I still have my job.
Yeah.
Because you motherfuckers think y'all hate me. Goddamn, I work with people who don't care for me either. But I'm still and been at that job for over a year because I go in, I don't have to be told shit. I do my job and then I get out.
Hey, Harlan. Speaking of, I got because I do like blue collar work. I'm not on some like pedestal or anything, but why don't you get into like construction or roofing or tree work, or something else? Why the fuck are you working at Freddy's, bro?
Because of my father. as punishment, when I was growing up, and whenever I would get in the little bit of trouble I did, my dad was a hanger and finisher of drywall. And he basically, ever since I was like 11, 12 years old, all the way up to even like my early 20s, sporadically here throughout, but in general, a good bit of times, my dad, yeah, I got the Jack and Honey.
Here's that, right? Salut, Astrovia, and just so you know, I don't got no real problems with your average Jewish person out there. L'chaim.
But my dad basically, being ever since he was 16 years old, busting his ass for a nuclear family, right? He was the only breadwinner for my family, and so I hated construction. I hated doing that shit.
Harlan, and I hate drywall. I won't. Somebody go offer me fucking $250 a day doing drywall, and like I mean, right now I'll probably take it, but like I really don't want that full time. But like I found like tree work, I didn't like construction. Roofing was cool because like to me it was simple. A lot of people are scared of heights. I'm not. I'm also a bigger dude. So it's like I work good on the roof. I done metal roofing. I done rubber roofing. I've done all kinds of roofing.
Roofing is some hard ass work.
Yeah, it's a work.
I knew a guy in prison who I arm wrestled with, mess around. That fucker had a strong hand and forearm.
Well, Harlan, I was if you never got it on a tree crew, you could like make at least $20 to $25 an hour down there in the South as a ground guy. And to me, like I hate construction, bro. Because I'll tell you why I hate construction. Number one, you go in the job every day. It's like a pain in the ass. What things you don't have, what's going wrong, and everybody's trying to do something their way. It's just a lot of bullshit. Tree work. It's like we're cutting down these trees. We're chipping this shit. And it's like it's a rock. It's you can't get a better workout than fucking tree work. So to me, it's like, yo, I'm getting paid top dollar for my white felon ass, and I'm out in the fucking clean air. I don't have sawdust and I'm not huffing paint fumes. Yeah, I got danger. I got trees that could kill me and chainsaws and shit. But I'm getting a crazy CrossFit, legit fucking crazy workout that I'm not gonna do on my own. Like we all do our arm wrestling workouts and our fucking gym workouts, but if you ever been in like a tree crew, like you're talking 8-10 hours of, especially like through the elements. You don't know if you're on rocky terrain. So to me, why I like it is I'm getting paid top dollar and I'm getting the kind of training that I will never do unless I'm getting paid for it. You feel me?
Gotcha.
Yep.
I don't know. I may look into that just out of curiosity because I know out here they are raping the land out here. I mean, seriously, cutting like shitloads of trees down and everything. But I think mostly they're using machines. I'm not sure if they're actually doing what you're doing, but they may be a little bit. I just, yeah, like I said, my dad basically scared me from the construction shit because I did that for so long, sporadically here and there. I just said, fuck this shit.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
I mean, my dad's on another level because, like I said, he's in his 60s almost, and he's still doing that shit.
But I'm getting that. A better job, even if it's not something like that. Like, get a job being like a bouncer at a strip club or some shit, bro. Like, like think of it like this: you're arm wrestling, you're gonna get jacked up. You're a taller dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, get out of Freddy's, bro. What I'm saying.
Or a driver. Girls want protection to even get from A to B. They want people that they know that they can get in the car with money and not rob them and get home safe.
You talking about being a taxi driver?
I've been doing this
or
shit
an escort.
So an escort.
You don't want just to call a taxi or an Uber or just some guy at the like. You want to be able to have a driver parked outside. You want to get in, make sure you know all the money you just made tonight. You're getting home safe. You're gonna walk to your porch. Your driver's gonna make sure you get inside, lock your door, and you're safe.
So Harlan,
and they pay you for it, good money.
There's certain jobs that, like for example, I could do that job, but I wouldn't do it because I'm gonna. I feel like I would get locked up or I'm gonna get I'm just like I'm gonna get in trouble doing that. But there's certain jobs, if you don't give a fuck and you're a certain type of person, like even the people that drive in front of the oversized loads truckers, they hire people that are crazy drivers. Like when you're driving down the highway or the road, they got an oversized load, and the flag person that's in front, that's like driving and making sure you're staying the fuck away. Those drivers, they like I talked to one guy before. He's like, I want somebody with mad points on their license that basically don't give a fuck, throws caution to the wind, is like a fucking cowboy, like 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 they're not too safe. So what I'm saying is, if you're the type of person where you're selling yourself as, you can get jobs that you risk. Like, for example, tree work. I get paid way more money doing construction, doing tree work, because it's a risky job, right? So I'm risking my life doing it. So but to me, I'm dealing with the people I'm working with and trees, and we're at work, we're working. Where it's like, if I'm in a strip club situation or driving some fucking girl somewhere, there's people on drugs. There's so many more things where it's like I'm gonna get in trouble. But this is just giving you a wide gambit, bro. Get the fuck out of fast food, bro. Stop working in fucking fast food. Like you could get something better, Harlan. That's the point.
I mean, you don't necessarily know my situation, but there's a reason why I'm basically stuck where I'm at. Working in general for fast food restaurants outside of the kind that I work for, which is not like a McDonald's or whatever. It's a hybrid. But yeah, I mean, I even donate plasma on the side for extra money just to make up for the loose ends.
Harlan,
But anyways, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
listen, you're in some alternative lifestyle. Listen, you can go on camera and squash watermelons with your feet and get paid for it. You could do some weird shit on cam and get paid for it. What I'm saying is, you could make quadruple the money you're making at Freddy's squashing watermelons and doing like weird shit on the internet. And it's like,
Yeah.
ultimately,
Or
yeah,
and here comes the idea. I don't know if you're in the group chat earlier, but I said I had some ideas, right?
yeah. Let's hear
This
this
is
idea.
including you.
Okay.
I want to ask you seriously right now at AW5 if we could get in a tag team together, arm wrestling wise, new wave style, right? If we could get Paul Italian and Ryan Grindin to come for a shitload of money with a
Hard,
lot of sponsors, more VitaCell treatments, this, that, and the
hard,
third, would you
hard.
be interested in that?
What I'm saying is, listen, if you name the two people that are not going to be going to AWU, it is snowball's chance in hell anytime soon in this Mandela effect, Harlan. Maybe in a
I
different
don't know. I'm not going to say his name, but somebody earlier, after I said all that stuff in the group chat, he said eventually that Grindin match is going to happen.
Listen, Grondin said he has.
Straight up.
All right, Harlan. This is Grondin, right? Grondin hoped Italia would win. Italia Promotions and 98 were already in business. I think we all seen that. Now that didn't happen. Grondin, look how Grondin looks like right now. So they're trying to save face. They expected Italia to win. They hoped he would hoped he would win. Look at how they treated Paul Italia when he barely beat Grondin, and look at the way they're treating me, right? And it's complete horseshit. You already know. Like at the end of the day, I was on stage at 2:18, and Grondin is selling it and saying I was 45 minutes late. No, no, no. No. If anything, I was 18 minutes late technically, but non-technically, I was there waiting for my name to be called. The tournament was still running. Like I called. Also, Paul never let anybody know that he was taking a shower and running stairs, etc., etc. I called Grondin. This is the real truth. I'm gonna say it on the Harlan Show. This is exactly what happened, and I got my witness right here. I am on the first floor, standing on a chair in my father's hotel bathroom, smoking a joint by the air vent. And it's about 3:05 right now. I got like 9 shots of vodka in me. All right, some frog fuel. I just took my first goo gel. And I'm joking. I'm like, wouldn't it be some funny shit if I fell off this, because the chair was all wobbly each time. So I'm like, what if I fell off this chair and broke my arm like this
Right before the match.
Yeah, right before the
smoking
match.
weed in the
So,
hotel room.
like, right when I was saying that, it's like 3:05. The fucking smoke, the fire alarm goes off, and we're
frozen.
We're like, all like, oh
my
fuck.
God, we set the fire. We thought we did. We thought we did.
Think we set it off by accident.
We're
smoking weed, and
we're like fuck.
So anyway, so my father's like, let me go see what's going on. So we're like in the hotel room. That's when you see on camera my father go down there, and he's like, Paul Italia pulled the fire alarm, and it's like 3:08, 3:09. My father's walking around on camera talking shit. I'm literally 15 seconds away on the first floor. So some kid pulled the fire alarm. Wasn't even me. Paul Italia's running up and down the fucking stairs. So I come out, the fire alarm's going off. I called Grondin an hour prior, and this is 100% truth. And I said, Grondin, I'm going to fuck with Paul. I'm going to show up a little bit late. I told him 3:20, 3:25. That's what I was planning for. Grondin said, okay. So I literally told him I am showing up late on purpose. So Paul has an adrenaline dump because I know what he's doing. I know he's taking shit, and I know he's.
Meanwhile, also, when his dad's there, there's still people on the center table pulling.
Yeah.
So they're not even really quite ready even. So
Grondin knew that it was a tactic I was doing, and it's the Gracie wait. Back in the early UFC days, Gracie's used to make you wait in the ring, and they would come out late. No one said, hey, you have to be here at 3:00. No one told me that. No one called me that, yo, you need to get down here right. Harlan, if somebody would have called me, if I would have called Grondin and said, hey, I plan on doing this thing and making him wait. If he would have said, no, Chris, we need to start this at a specific time, I would have been like, all right. He didn't. He allowed me to do so. So, Paul, Grondin was in on it. Grondin knew I was going to make you wait. So, and Grondin, you're a real fucking snake motherfucker too, by the way. Because, yeah, you know, there's things I could say and personal things, but I won't even do that. But you go ahead. It's very evident, I think, the 98 and Grondin, they make friends with people. They have business relationships. And then things go sour. And they get very, like James Reed, CNY. I mean, they lost Paul Lynn this year.
I even heard a story here recently from our Unrivaled Productions guy about Grondin. And he actually stated, I think totally different about that man now after all this has happened now. I'm not going to say his name.
Harlan, you see me go after Grondin before. Now I'm having this match at his event. Do you think, like, I'm a passionate man and like I'm about my principalities and whatnot? I only went after him a few different times leading up to this because I saw his snake-like behavior, and I can't help myself. Even though the higher alien side of my brain would be like, no, just let this go. You're having this event. You need to get this money. You need to have the match happen. But no, my primal side, like of like, no, I'm not going to let this go. But Grondin, he sides with whoever is in the best interest. Like he sucks Arm God's fucking dick. Paul Italia beat him, and Grondin pretty much cucked up. Grondin would have allowed Paul to fuck his wife, probably. He cucked up so hard and like let Paul run his show so much where, you know what, Grondin, I'll say this right now. When I first lost respect for you and I saw you for what you are, motherfucker, is when Wood talked about your baby girl, the way Andrew Wood talked about your baby girl. Oh man, dude, even Wood, I have a son. He didn't say anything as bad as what he said about you and your daughter. But if I had a daughter, the way you just like allowed him back on your show, this and that, it just shows me your character. And like you said, like, yeah, I don't get mad at shit like that. Like, yeah, you're a real comedian. You're a real you're in the Chris Warren group of like, oh no ego, and I'm a fat fuck, and everything's so fucking funny, right? Yo.
Yeah, I actually got to say something about that with Chris Warren. And this is the last time I had to break away from him because I basically have sniffed out his character a while back, but even more so, it just came to a head because you cannot be friends with everybody. And that's what Chris Warren is trying to do. He's trying to get in good with everybody. I mean, he's on the Buzz Show, he's on the 98, this, that, and the third. Y'all had a falling out
Before,
for reasons, blah, blah, blah.
before I lose my track here, what I'm getting with Grondin, he ruins, he burns bridges. For somebody that makes jokes about me burning boats, man, somebody that's running a promotion, James Reed, Paul Lynn, all the other athletes you sponsored, and then these sour relationships, Chuck Bardo, it's almost like, when they tell you after a while, when you just things aren't working out, and it's like, maybe it's you. Maybe it's not all these other people. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you're the fucking scumbag, all right, that does people dirty behind their fucking back. And then they say, you know what? I'm going to steal your fucking speaker, you fat fuck. What are you going to do about it? Honestly, that's the way I look at it, because you're a conniving fuck that as soon as somebody walks away, you're rolling your eyes and you're making a joke, but you'll never say something to somebody's face. You'll be a little fucking bitch, all right? And you'll be a passive aggressive bitch for the rest of your life. So you can go ahead and go on with that, but everybody sees right through it, motherfucker. You fucking dick riding, opportunistic fucking fat snake. Fuck you,
You
Grondin.
know how I look at him in an offhandish way? I see him as kind of like,
Scared of Harlan, Grondin. Fear Harlan. You fear Harlan. Go ahead, Harlan. Go ahead.
but anyways, I see him as offhandishly kind of like a Vince McMahon, because like his show,
Don't
his
disrespect him.
Winter Blast show. No. Just hear me out, right?
Right.
Because like I'm seeing this whole arm wrestling thing because how America is in general, with multiple markets competing against each other, this, that, and the third. This is like early days WWF shit. We're in the territorial battles.
Yeah. I said before, yeah, the territory battles when Vince McMahon went and took over. But Grondin, no, I look at Grondin. Grondin is not Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon was a boss. Every wrestler would always say, you know what? Vince was a real man. He was a real dude. Like, not only was he like, the businessman, he wasn't a sniveling fucking coward. Vince McMahon would stand
Yeah.
up to motherfucker. He was an alpha. Grondin is not an alpha. He's a fat fucking beta bitch. And like I'm just saying, man, where there's smoke, there's fire. I see the 98 always having issues with past relationships they had. And the Paul Lynn thing, James Reed, I can understand, but Paul Lynn's such a good guy. For Paul Lynn not to come to Winter Blast, that just says a lot. To me, that says everything. Because Paul Lynn's the kind of good guy, like where him not going there. I feel like a lot of people are glossing over that. He was at every other one before. He supported the 98, and now he doesn't anymore. And hey, I mean, maybe it's Grondin.
I
And you
think
think
uh, I think he was on there last Friday night, if I remember correctly.
he could have went on the show, but he didn't go to Winter Blast. Is my point, bro. He was at all. He
Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it from a business standing point. Paul Lynn's up here. Yeah, I mean, I
well,
can tell you right now with Justin Bishop, out of curiosity, when I first went and practiced with him, I asked him out of curiosity, how much did you make just going to that East versus West event? He said just to appear there, he got $1,000, paid trip and everything, right? But just win or lose, you're already just making $1,000 just going there.
yeah. I don't know, dude. Like at the end of the day, these other guys are arm wrestlers. Imagine being a promoter and being known as the worst arm wrestler in the world and being a big fat joke, and you have to make that your image. But he's running a whole organization called the 98, loses
Yeah.
the ball, lets him take over his show. Then I come through and completely dominate Paul, and look how they do me. That's very telling. That tells you everything you need to know, that he's following the money. Of course, dude, I'm not, they don't want me to win. Italia Promotions will back events, will put money in events. Paul's rich. Grondin has Shell fucking donating $50,000 when he dies to the 98. He's a grifter. He's a con man.
Yeah. Yeah. There's
Arm
I don't want to get into that as to why you're getting treated the way you are with the 98, because there's obviously a
Oh,
reason for that.
no, I expected it. We don't got to get
Yeah.
into it. I'm just making it be
Yeah.
known to the public that look at what happened when Paul beat Grondin, and look at what happened for now for what happened now. Like 18 minutes turns into 45, where Paul didn't coming down until 4:05. All right, he's bitching all he wants. I'm smoking cigarettes, smoking joints, drinking vodka, drinking beer. You heard me?
Yeah. What the hell was I going to say? Fuck. I totally lost it. But I think we're just going to go ahead and cut it off here. But I mean, yeah, I basically 3-0 on the right, and then I won on the left. Only one out of the 3 matches went into the strap, and I basically got the last laugh. I told Brandon that this ain't over with sometime in the future. You know, right now I'm in the corner, you know, crying and licking my wounds and stuff. But this shit ain't over between me and him. And William Brewer, oh son, I'm gonna take my time with you.
Hey,
Yes, sir. Gonna take my time with that boy.
You got a right hand pops at 85, correct?
Say that again.
You have a right hand match with Little Popeye at AW5, correct?
That's why I was stating this idea that I had for AW5 that wasn't going to involve him, because like I'm watching WrestleMania, right, and I'm getting all these ideas, and even a conversation that they had on the 98 this past Friday night, they were talking about doing like a Survivor Series type arm wrestling match where each team has like 3 or 5 guys, you know, with a captain, and then they just arm wrestle it out. You know, it's very new wave. And so with all that, I was like, shit, why not in Nanya go against Paul Italia and Ryan Grondin in the main event for a lot of money?
I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to happen. You should focus on your match with Lil Pops, and I was going to suggest that if your left hand is good, that I would call out Clinton Pickering.
I'm already ahead of you on that. I did that last night.
All right. I would focus on that, Harlan. Little Pops is Popeye's son. A win over him is a solid win in the logistics, etc. And then Clinton Pickering speaks for itself. I matched him before. So then if you beat him like at the last AWU, and also it makes sense under other, put it this way, it'll be a tense, high energy match. And I think the Little Pops match is great and all, but I think if you get that left hand match with Pickering sealed, that people will really they'll be looking forward to that match more than the Little Pops match, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I already know the angle you're thinking about.
Yeah, of course, bro. I'll just tell you, boxing. It's the same thing as boxing. At the end of the day, that's what everybody really wants to see. It is.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to cut it off here. I want to thank you for coming on, Nanya, and thank you again for helping me out in the way you already know you helped me out in. And y'all have a good night. Shout out again to my subscribers and followers. We may do this again next Sunday.
VSA.
Yes.
Kraken.
Unrivaled Productions. Arm Wrestling Uncensored and VSA, baby. Let's go. Yep, fuck the 98. Fuck them guys and fuck Paul Italia.
James Cochran, where the 98 logo goes on the shirts, Kraken logo. Fuck the 98.
Yeah. Y'all have a good one. Goodbye.